Hey Spirit Fam, Oracle Bree Marie here. Today we are going to do July Journey 22, Day 6 Reconnect. And gosh, there's just not enough time in the day, is there? I'm going to read to you guys. I'm going to read to you guys a little bit more from the Enchanted Soul book. So let's get to it. Okay, so it's beautiful out. So I've got you guys outside. Beautiful, aka super hot. But hopefully the neighborhood isn't too loud as usual. All right, here we go. So for Reconnect, I pulled, and it's gonna be backwards, damn it, let me. The Wheel of Destiny, aka the Wheel of Fortune. So let's read this little story on the Wheel of Destiny and see how it fits in with the Reconnect prompt. So the quote, "Let us follow our destiny, ebb and flow. Whatever may happen, we master fortune by accepting it." We master fortune by accepting our destiny, by accepting whatever might happen to us. So that's super powerful. And I had hawks flying above my head in my backyard, and I haven't been outside in a while because it's been so hot, but they were circling, two of them right above my backyard. So apparently that means that I have something big happen. Let's hope that I can accept whatever it is. Once upon a time, high in the cosmos, there turned a great golden wheel of destiny. The wheel was in constant motion, symbolizing the continuity of all human existence by being in the constant flux of change that was encountered in daily lives. Hereupon, this wheel of destiny was where the three sisters of fate would meet. These goddesses presided over the sacred laws of life and shared a bond of connectivity as they wove the tapestry of life, which doled out the fate of what each mortal would experience in that lifetime. Each one of these sisters had her own responsibilities. A maiden who was responsible for which soul would be born and when they would incarnate. She would spin out strands of DNA dressed in green, signifying new life, freshness, and growth. The second sister, wearing blue, wanted to show that years of experience is actually the best part of life to be celebrated. She was the matron, and she imprinted her symbol of the horoscope upon the great wheel, displaying the importance of the in-between, that sweet space between life and death. She wanted to remind mortals that it is not when you were born or how you will die. It is how you lived your life that counted. She would intertwine the strands of other life souls, determining how long the souls spent with one another. The third sister, holding a pair of shears in her crone years, had been entrusted to cut the thread by ending a mortal's life. She wore a crimson robe, symbolizing the blood that must be shed, for without death there could be no life anew. She was revered and honored as the taker of life, a task that weighed down heavily on her shoulders, because with the celebration of any new birth came the whispered promise of death. Floating, there's a bee that wants me. Floating to the side of the wheel was the hovering hand, representing awareness. Sometimes people cannot see beyond the hand, and that prevents them from uncovering the deeper mysteries of the three fates. The hand that spins the wheel symbolizes the thought process of the mundane, where we humans think we are the ones in control. And when we feel we have lost control, we blame that same hand on chance and bad luck and coincidences. We believe in the old adage that round and round she goes, and where she stops, nobody knows. The Wheel of Destiny is here to remind you that by exercising free will, you can have a life of your design and follow your creative and intuitive pursuits to fulfillment. But also, if you simply cast your gaze just beyond the hand, you will see the goddess of fate that always has a hand in your birth, significant karmic events, and your death. Whoa. The Wheel of Destiny person is someone who is always on the move, searching for new changes and new perspectives in life. They're seen as someone who is very lucky and somehow just happens to be in the right place at the right time. Eve. They tend to live life and never lose their center, no matter what is going on with them, trusting in the universe. Some Wheel of Destiny people may find themselves in cycles of abundance and scarcity, where their lack of organization and planning may lead them to being unprepared when their lives are in a downturn. However, these people are so lucky that no matter what, due to pure chance, an opportunity will come their way and they will land on their feet. And we all know someone like that, don't we? So think about the times when things have not worked out for you, or have felt like you had been dealt a bad hand. Looking back with hindsight, can you now see what was going on behind the scenes? So how does this relate to the connect prompt? Now this is super interesting to me because many years ago in my early 20s, I had a deep conversation with a professor of mine about free will and fate. And at that point in my life, I was pretty certain that every second, every moment of life was fated. It was predestined, and that was my story, and I was sticking to it. And he was big on free will. He felt like everything that he did was his choice. He decided to do that. And both of our thought processes made us feel safe in some certain kind of way. Here, I am being prompted to reconnect to knowing that it's both to a certain extent. Okay, we all do have that free will where we can try to fulfill our dreams and follow our dreams and live our life to our fullest, to our heart's desires. And then there is that hand of fate, those karmic events that that I feel like, how does that work, right? How does our free will take us to our karmic event? It's almost like in our free will, we have like 5 different ways that we could go. And how is it that whichever way we go leads us still to one of those big karmic events, right? So it's pretty interesting. I love it. Just kind of having to take it all in and wondering, because I do know personally as an astrologer, I've seen a lot of birth charts, some with more fated aspects than others. Some people have more karmic, planned, fated, destined events in their lives than others. Some of us have more free will. So it's always interesting to wonder how that works. I do love when I come out here just watching all stuff. Sorry, I'm easily distracted. So if you are someone that is convinced that everything is fated, everything is beyond your control, like why even bother, because this is going to turn out this certain way anyway, reconnect to the thought process that that is not entirely true. You do have some free will. You do have free will. And if you're the opposite, if you're someone that thinks that there is no such thing as fate, everything that you do is out of your free will. Reconnect to the idea that there are some fated aspects in your life. And I'm sure that you could actually point a couple of them out. A couple experiences where you might have swiftly missed death, or met the love of your life, or the birth of a child. There's definitely both fate and free will. So there's that for today's July Journey 22. Love, light, and blessings, guys.